What if saving Carter turns out to be the moment that destroys everything Beth and Rip have spent years trying to build? After everything this family has survived, wars, betrayals, bloodshed, and impossible choices, it seems unbelievable that one frightened young man could become the center of their greatest emotional battle. But that's exactly where Dutton Ranch Season 2 appears to be heading. Carter has already survived a childhood filled with abandonment, violence, and loss. Beth and Rip gave him something he never believed he deserved. A home. Yet sometimes the people we love the most become the ones we're most afraid of losing. And when Carter suddenly disappears under mysterious circumstances, the rescue that follows may force every member of this family to confront painful truths they've spent years trying to bury. Is Carter simply another victim caught in the ranch's growing war, or is someone deliberately using him to strike at Beth and Rip where it hurts the most? Could this rescue become the beginning of an even darker conflict that changes the Dutton family forever? And what if bringing Carter home safely is only the first step toward an even greater heartbreak? The clues hidden throughout Dutton Ranch suggest that this story is about far more than finding one missing boy. It's about loyalty, sacrifice, family, and the impossible price people are willing to pay for those they love. Let's break down why Carter's rescue may become the most emotional storyline Dutton Ranch has ever told. For a long time, Carter believed that surviving was the only thing life would ever ask of him. Before Beth and Rip entered his world, every day was simply about making it through another disappointment. Trust wasn't something he understood because everyone he had ever depended on eventually disappeared. Love felt temporary. Safety felt impossible. Even after arriving at the ranch, those emotional scars never truly vanished. They simply became easier to hide. Beth never treated Carter with gentle words because that wasn't who she was. Instead, she taught him strength in the only language she understood. Rip did the same. Neither of them promised that life would become easy. They simply refused to let him face it alone. That difference slowly transformed Carter into someone who finally began imagining a future instead of merely surviving another day. But Dutton Ranch has always reminded viewers that happiness rarely arrives without consequences. Every time someone begins believing they've found peace, life finds another way to test them. Carter's emotional growth has quietly become one of the most important developments in the entire series, and that makes him far more vulnerable than many fans realize. The stronger his connection to Beth and Rip becomes, the more dangerous losing him becomes for them. That's exactly why his disappearance feels so different from every other crisis the ranch has faced. This isn't simply about tracking down a missing teenager. It's about protecting the one person who represents hope inside a family that has spent most of its life surrounded by violence. The timing also feels far too suspicious to ignore. The enemies surrounding the ranch have learned something incredibly important over the past season. They understand that attacking Beth or Rip directly rarely works. Both have survived impossible situations before. They've endured shootings, betrayals, business wars, and personal loss. Pain has become part of who they are. But Carter is different. Carter represents everything they've fought to protect. Hurting him means attacking the emotional foundation that keeps both Beth and Rip moving forward. That's what makes this possible kidnapping or disappearance feel so much more personal than an ordinary rescue mission. Someone may have realized that the quickest way to break this family isn't through bullets or threats. It's through fear. Imagine what Beth experiences the moment she realizes Carter is gone. Outwardly, she has always appeared fearless, almost impossible to intimidate. Yet beneath that toughness has always existed someone terrified of losing the few people she truly loves. Carter entered her life unexpectedly, but over time he became much more than another responsibility. Without ever admitting it openly, Beth slowly became something she never imagined herself becoming: a mother figure. She would probably deny those words if anyone ever said them aloud, yet her actions reveal the truth every single time. Every harsh lesson, every sarcastic comment, every impossible expectation has always been rooted in protection. She wanted Carter prepared for a world that rarely shows mercy because she knows exactly how cruel that world can become. That's why his disappearance would affect her so deeply. She wouldn't simply see another problem to solve. She would see another chance for life to steal someone she loves. Rip's reaction could become even more heartbreaking. Unlike Beth, Rip rarely allows his emotions to appear on the surface. Years of discipline have taught him to remain calm even during absolute chaos. But viewers who have followed his journey know something important. The quieter Rip becomes, the more dangerous the situation usually is. If Carter truly vanishes, Rip isn't likely to waste time arguing or blaming others. Instead, he'll immediately begin searching, following every clue with relentless determination. That's because Carter isn't simply another ranch hand anymore. He's become family. Rip has quietly spent years teaching Carter everything he never had the chance to learn himself. Responsibility, discipline, loyalty, patience. Each lesson represented something much bigger than ranch work. Rip wasn't just raising a cowboy. He was helping shape a young man capable of building a better life than the one either of them started with. Losing Carter would mean watching all of that progress disappear overnight. And for someone like Rip, who rarely allows himself emotional attachments, that possibility could become unbearable. But perhaps the most fascinating part of this storyline isn't the rescue itself. It's what the rescue reveals about every relationship surrounding Carter. Because when someone disappears, people stop pretending. Fear strips away pride. Hidden emotions finally surface. Every decision suddenly exposes what truly matters. Beth's relentless determination, Rip's quiet desperation, and even the reactions of those around the ranch could reveal feelings they've spent years refusing to acknowledge. That emotional honesty is exactly what has always separated Dutton Ranch from ordinary Western dramas. The biggest battles are rarely fought with guns. They're fought inside people who are trying desperately not to lose the ones they love. And if the clues leading into season 2 are pointing in the right direction, Carter's rescue may become the moment that changes every member of this family forever. As the search for Carter grows more desperate, something begins to change inside everyone connected to the ranch. At first, the mission seems simple. Find Carter, bring him home, and make sure whoever is responsible pays the price. But the deeper Beth and Rip dig into his disappearance, the clearer it becomes that this isn't just another crisis. Every clue raises more questions than answers, and every passing hour makes the situation feel even more dangerous. That's because Carter isn't simply missing. Someone appears to understand exactly how important he has become to the Dutton family. And if that is true, then this rescue isn't only about saving one young man. It's about protecting the emotional heart of the ranch before it is completely torn apart. For years, Beth and Rip have survived by believing they could handle any problem together. They have faced powerful enemies, impossible business battles, and life-threatening violence without allowing those challenges to destroy their relationship. But Carter's disappearance introduces something completely different. This is one battle where strength alone may not be enough. You can't fight fear the same way you fight an enemy standing in front of you. Fear grows quietly. It fills every moment of silence with terrible possibilities. It forces people to imagine outcomes they desperately hope never become real. That's exactly what makes this storyline feel so emotionally powerful. The real battle begins long before anyone finds Carter. It begins inside Beth and Rip themselves. Beth has always responded to pain by becoming more aggressive. Whenever someone threatens the people she loves, she refuses to back down. Instead, she pushes forward with even greater determination. But this time, anger may not give her the answers she's looking for. Every lead that goes nowhere, every person who claims they know nothing, and every hour without news slowly chips away at the confidence she usually carries. For perhaps the first time in a long while, Beth is forced to admit something she hates feeling. She isn't in control. No amount of courage can instantly bring Carter back. No threat can erase the uncertainty surrounding his disappearance. That helplessness may become one of the hardest emotional battles she has ever faced. Rip experiences the situation very differently. Rather than letting panic take over, he throws himself completely into the search. Every conversation becomes another opportunity to uncover a clue. Every familiar trail suddenly deserves another look. Every stranger becomes someone worth questioning. On the surface, Rip appears calm, but longtime viewers know exactly what that silence usually means. He's thinking several steps ahead, preparing himself for every possible outcome, even the ones he refuses to say out loud. Deep inside, he understands something terrifying. If someone intentionally targeted Carter, then this wasn't random. It was planned.